Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Miss Canada Globe Productions Facebook page and the Canadian Pageant Network Facebook page and YouTube pages. Today is a very special day because I have a special guest, and his name is Juan Arturo Ramirez, who is the current director of Teen Universe USA, Miss Teen Mundial USA, Miss Teen Americas USA, and Miss Teen MesoAmerica USA. So, hi Juan, how are you?
Hi, Mia. I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys in Canada over there?
It's good. It's good. I've had enough of COVID, um, but it's you are in Texas, so you guys are your governor opened the essentials and non-essentials, right?
Correct. We opened phase one last week. Yesterday was phase two. So, which means barbers, thank God, because I had a haircut already. But we are still taking precautions. I live in the Panhandle of Texas, which today is super sunny, ready for for a pool time. But I have to do a lot of stuff so I can have pool time. But most of our state is really hot right now, and we are trying to, it's even though it's phase two, there's a lot of still people taking precaution and staying home, which I do recommend highly. But yes, we are on phase two right now in Texas. Hoping everything, God willing, and soon, because this is terrifying for a lot of us, and especially we pageant people, because we have so many people and many girls to train and work with, and so. But it's going. It's going. I am a very faithful person, and I think things happen for a reason, and I know God has a powerful message with all this going on for all of us.
Well, your national finals for USA was supposed to be in May, correct?
No, no, actually, it's in August. I do have a lot of state pageants going up. We have a lot of cancellations. For instance, I was supposed to be in California. That was canceled. Our, which is the other one? I think our Oklahoma pageant got canceled. Or my, of course, Florida pageant has to be canceled. But my national finals will be in August. We're still talking to the theater. We're still talking to hotel accommodations to make sure we follow guidelines. We still make sure our girls are protected. And even though we know if we open to phase three, we still have to take precautions to every single person who is part of our pageant system. Just to be in the safe side is better to be safe than sorry. So we do expect to open a couple of another states. Every state here in the U.S. is a little different. They work according to their population and according to their governors. So I believe Florida has been attacked, and especially Miami, with a lot of cases and a lot of COVID-19 status. And so our pageants in Orlando. So speaking to our people last week, they said everything looks good. Everything is going to go normal. Hopefully, well, not normal. I don't think this will be normal for a couple of maybe months, maybe years, depending on how we take this seriously. But they do told us they are going to take the most precautions with our girls. So I'm working hand with everybody in Florida. This is our first time going to Florida, so I'm a little, head sick, a little crazy, a little scared, a little bit of everything. A lot of those different things inside of me, because of course I'm like you. I think we take care of our girls really, really good, and I think they're our priority when it comes to pageantry. So we do have our international pageants with Mundial in America's canceled. We don't know exactly when the new date is going in, so we keep doing everything online to make sure our national girls are getting prepared for international. So there's just so many things we've been this virus affected everybody, and we're just trying to make sure we survive this. It's been a tough situation for everybody, I believe.
Well, I know that your girls are going to do well internationally because they are trained by you, and you supply them their outfits because I believe you own a store, right? Does your family or your mom or?
My sister and my mom, yeah, we do have a boutique we do give the girls, you know, their, if they want to go with the sponsor, if they want to go with anybody else, but if they need anything, I try to, you know, at least give them a couple of outfits for sure. We do supply our national costume. That's something that it's expensive, but
I know.
one of the prices. So you know, we just try to do our best to make sure our girls spend the less they can.
But let's talk about the COVID-19 in Texas. Is the infection rate getting lower or getting higher? Has any people died from the virus?
Okay, so you know, our population here in Texas, it's pretty high. It's about, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, I have the numbers here. Let me see. I don't know if I can, if I leave the Zoom, it will probably log out, right? I'm not sure. So
Yes,
okay,
but
so I believe only like 0.7% of our population has been affected with a deadly person. So even though our numbers are high, it's not even 10%. I believe that's what the numbers that I saw last time. Now, where I live in Amarillo, Texas, which is the Panhandle, the little square on top of Texas. That's where I live. And we were okay. We were, you know, we only had a couple of hundreds people contaminated, or you know, with the virus, and we only had, I believe, we had a couple of deaths, not too many, which it was good. But until we went to phase one, the numbers went up. We do have a meat plants here in Amarillo. Well, not Amarillo, I'm sorry, in the area of here. So we once some people got the virus, and it started going crazy. So now we have, I believe, 1,100 cases, which it's not a big number, but it's still, you know, for the city of Amarillo where I live, it's pretty high and it's pretty risky. So we try to stay, you know, hopefully it doesn't get higher, but I think there has to be a higher number in order for us to go to a lower number. So it's pretty drastic. I believe Houston was hit very bad. Houston was one of the big cities. I mean, of course, it's like the second bigger city in the nation, and it has a huge international airport, so there's many people coming in and out, and they did get pretty bad. So I believe they're opening to phase two as well now, but it's going just because in general the whole entire state of Texas, they're taking the best precautions to
I'm
be
really
able.
hoping that everybody will be safe because, and I don't blame your governor because obviously he's trying to impress 45, if you know who I mean, 45.
Yes.
And 45 couldn't wait to have everybody open up because it's going to be elections time. And if there is a bad economy in the United States, he's going to lose. And that's the reason why he's hurrying up everyone to have it open, if you know what I mean, right? But,
Yes.
and all, honestly, I stopped watching the news because all I hear, whenever I hear his voice, I get a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, I try to stay away from the news in general, just because my grandmother lives with us, and I mean, thank God she's not sick or ill, but we do try to make sure that, you know, she stays healthy, and you know, because, you know, I don't know, it just scares her to death, and I don't want her to be scared through all this process. Um, so we tried to tell her, don't watch the news, grandma, you know. We'll let you know what's going on, and especially we have a great mayor here in Amarillo. I think she's doing what she can to keep everybody safe. I believe the most alarmed people out there, the worse it gets, because people get, you know, with that mentality. But I believe we're doing great. I hope the numbers don't increase, and this is for the best of everybody, because if the numbers stay where they are and they decrease, then, you know, the whole US goes back to normal. We can go back to work. We can
Yes,
start
yeah.
traveling. And
But we all know that um, pageants would hit very hard in regards to this because it's a gathering, not only by stage shows where it's like the audience, but the actual pageant itself, because the contestants obviously will be sharing rooms with each other. And it's just, and I know people in the entertainment industry will be the like probably the last one to open because and we are considered entertainment. Um, and I really hope that this will be gone in like quick because obviously we planned so hard to do our production and our pageant. But obviously the audience would like to know, the viewers would like to know, Juan, how did you start your life in pageantry?
Oh Lord, that's a crazy story, Mia. I didn't know you're gonna ask me this, but I actually this is my 10th anniversary doing pageantries myself producing. I'll be we're already in May. Oh Lord, yeah, it's been a year. I mean, 10 years. I just get lost with all this staying home stuff. But I did. I was very involved in church back then. It's a very weird story. To one point where I did want to become a priest. It was that
Father Juan.
was it
I
was
love the name Father Juan.
and well, I got involved in church, and I knew a lot of people criticize the church because they just get money, on their Sundays, blah blah blah, but they don't know actually what goes beyond just every Sunday mass. There is, the priests eat, the nuns eat, they have to take care of electricity, they have their air conditioner, it's not $100 a month. So there were so many stuff that the church needed, that I got super involved with church, and I got to know their financial needs and stuff like that they actually did need to raise money for. And so every year the church that I went to, I'm Catholic. That's just my whole family is Catholic, so I'm Catholic too. So I every year they have this big gathering in the church where they celebrate, like their saint. For instance, where I went, it was St. Lawrence. So every year they had a St. Lawrence big party, and so everything that was sold within the party, or the, as we call it in Spanish, what do we call it? I just went blank. Um, una parriandada, like a big parish thing, they did. They
Yes.
would take all the money towards the church to pay any debts that they had. So the nuns, I used to be like in church, so the nuns loved me, and they're like, hey, we have the little queens of the church on the parish celebration we're having. Can you help us? And I was like, okay, I was little. I was 16, 17 back then, so I was like, let me help you out. And I found out we only had 3 little girls that were little, and those 3 girls raised $3,000 within 2 weeks, just by
Wow.
selling food. Their parents would sell food, and they would go around the community, and it was just a community involvement within the girls. And I learned they made all this money, and I was like, oh well, if I get 30 girls, that'll be $30,000. It's for the church. So I asked the priest, and he would always tell me yes, because I was not gonna say I was his favor, but he would always tell me, okay, Arturo, whatever you want to do, I'll help you out. So I did it, and I got 30 girls. And you know how pageants go, some stay, some leave. But it was my first year doing all this pageant stuff, and we ended up with 24 girls at the end. And the girl who raised the most money was going to be the winner, because it was for the church. It wasn't, a pageant, whatever itself. But through all these months of preparation, I was exhausted. I was like, oh Lord, I didn't know pageantry was this hard. It was just too many drama within the girls, and I didn't know how to take care of all these situations because I was little. I was young. I was just doing it to help out. And so we ended up doing it. We were supposed to crown the girl at the parish celebration on a Sunday, and since the girls were raising too much money and stuff, I started getting a lot of sponsors, and those sponsors were like, hey, like, we want to help you out, and I am so grateful for those people who actually were the beginners to believe in me. And so we ended up getting our biggest auditorium in Amarillo. And
Wow.
so we ended up having the pageant there, and the girl who won just went to the parish celebration to turn the money into to the parish, you know. And so we did not end up getting, you know, $30,000 like we all think we would have had. We only turned about 6,000, which I mean for them it was great, you know. For me it was like, oh, I didn't make the gold, you know. But and I was like, okay, I'm done. Pageant's over. We already have the winner. I'm moving on into the parish, other parish activities. But here in Amarillo, back then, I am not sure the numbers now, but we had the highest population in pregnancy girls when I did my first pageant. So when this happened with the first pageant that I had, we had girls that they were not even Catholic. They wanted to join the pageant because there were just so many negative stuff out there in the city and so many girls getting pregnant that parents would push them to do the pageant because it was an activity that they had never seen, and it was just, you know, making them do something besides being home or being with the boyfriend, or, you know. So I started getting asked, you know, hey, when are you doing the next pageant? When are you going to do the next pageant? I literally told them, I don't think there's another next pageant, you know. This was just a one-time activity. And to make it short, you know, I'm here doing 10 years later, doing pageants. We did, you know, not broke up, but we did separated from the church because, you know, church and pageants or models have nothing to do together. So we did have a couple of, you know, little drama with some people who were thinking the negative side of the pageantry. But what we started doing with the next year was, you know, we would just turn the money in as a donation, and we would just, you know, look for a sponsor outside so we can train the girls. And so it started moving from there. The second year I got called from this pageant organization. They wanted me to be part of it. I declined the offer 3 times because I have no experience. I was just doing this for fun and to help people out. And people were like, do it, you know, if this is for you, it's going to be for you. And so I ended up doing it. I became a city director in 2014. No, I'm sorry, 2012. 2013, I did my first state pageant, and I had over 30 girls all over the state of Texas. And I was a state director for this Texas pageant until 2015. And then from 2015, here we became a national director. So now we have over, I believe, 25 states in the U.S. that actually do a pageant. I have over 32 directors because we do accept heritage titles now, just because we don't have the 52 states in the U.S. Uh, I allowed them to, you know, to bring their heritage or you know, their culture. We do have regions. We have like West Coast. We have Southeast Central, Southern states, and those states or titles are just, you know, so we can have a good number of girls through nationals. So now we do have 4 national titles that we sent internationally. Uh, last what was it, January, we placed
January.
Universe. So that was one of the greatest accomplishments before becoming a national director. So it's been tough. I mean, there's some times where you want to just throw the towel, but I believe the girls believing in me and their parents and all this stuff that we've done through the years have kept me strong. And here we are, you know, and you know, fighting to make sure the girls have their best times at nationals, you know.
Mm-hmm. But again, I just want to let everybody know that Juan is the one responsible who the the reason why Miss Canada Global Productions has the franchise for Canada for Teen Universe is because of Juan. So Juan, thank you so much. And I can say that Teen Universe is actually a great production, and I learned a lot from it. And people are like really like into a lot of the contestants are really pretty and tall, but they're really into it to the point where like not a lot of people are friendly. But thanks to Juan because he kept me company there. But yeah, so tell us why you chose why tell us the different platforms being from like Teen Universe and Miss Teen Mundial, and so the audience can be aware that each pageants has a different platform. So
I'm gonna do it quick because I don't have a lot of time left. But we do have to make sure as national directors, we, you know, like you, before you went to internationals, you asked a lot of questions and you were trying to get informed. I believe in all pageant systems. I think parents, number one, and contestants need to make sure they know where they're going. First, one of the main things I always tell parents, if your daughter does not want to do a pageant, do not force her, because at the end of the day, she's the one who's competing. And a lot of the times, parents want to compete for their daughters, and that's what affects us international directors or national, because we're fighting against two people. You know, we're fighting against the parents and, you know, the international production. So we want to make sure we take a contestant that we can trust her and we can give her the responsibility of representing our country, because once she's there, she's representing the country. We're just the backstage people helping her, you know. So a lot of the times, moms especially, I mean, sometimes parents, dads, it just depends, are the ones who put their daughters in pageants because they're the ones competing in their body, kind of thing, you know. So I just recommend highly, if your daughter does not like pageants, don't force her to do them, because it just affects her mentally and affects her through the long way, you know. So second would be investigating the pageant you're going to. If your pageant director has experience and they have so many pageants behind their back, just like Mia does, you know, with her production, I would totally trust the pageantry or the system she has. Now, if it's a new pageant, I'm not saying don't try it, but you have to make sure you find out exactly where they're going, how the production will take care, you know, like even if it's outside the country or inside, you just make sure that it's a legit pageant and they're not going to take your money away. And we all learned that from, you know, from experience. I've learned it that, you know, a lot of people are not going to trust you from the beginning, but once they see your reputation and everything you've done for the girls, I think that comes into consideration and it helps you out. Now, Mundial, I believe I've taken them for the past 3 years almost already. It's more like Miss World. They're looking for that, you know, classy girl that can represent everybody with values, and she's sophisticated and she's elegant. Now, the Teen Universe competition, I always tell the girls it's like Miss Universe, you know. Well, not the new system, because we all know that IMG, it's a little different now. But we're talking about how the girls,
Donald Trump era.
yes, like they want somebody out there who is gonna be, you know, when she walks in, everybody's gonna look at that girl, kind of thing. This is how I difference my two girls from the pageantry. So when I tell my judges, be like, I'm looking for a universe girl and I'm looking for a world girl. So please help me find out the one that acts like this and looks like this, and this one that acts like that, looks like that. The Americas, this is gonna be the first year that I go to, but everybody from Mia, from any other directors that I've sent to Teen Americas, they have told me so many great things about this pageant system from Francisco that I'm so excited to go this year. Of course, our pageant moved, but we have the girl, and I think she's in between Universe and Mundial. So I think they're looking there. I'm not very sure because I haven't experienced it myself.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Very
me.
different from Mundial. Very different from Mundial, because it's very based on the Central American or the American culture. So you have the usanza ready for the girl?
I'm sorry?
The usanza.
Oh,
the
no.
costume. The shoulder length outfit. The white one with the flower print.
Like the one we used at Mundial? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it's for Americas. Yeah, they did it in Mundial, but it was not part of the competition. Where they wore the white, yeah. But this one has to be like printed and flower printed.
Well, this month was supposed to be America's, right? And
yes.
So we're behind, but no, we have to get in between that. I need to check the paperwork. Thank you for telling me. That's another thing, guys and girls and moms and dads. Always check your paperwork, because once you get there, if you forget a pair of heels, you're running like a crazy chicken with no head.
So, if I didn't mention that, you would not remember.
I wouldn't have remembered. But yes, paperwork and all that stuff, it's super important. Especially here in the U.S., we want to make sure our girls and parents know everything from from the bottom to the top, because we don't want to get stuck with questions at internationals. You know, once you get there, it's work time.
Especially if it's so hectic every day. There's no time to like deja vu.
I'm gonna give you a heads up. I've been to Nicaragua for Teen Universe, and they have.
Excited for next year.
I am excited that actually went back to Nicaragua because I've been there twice with this system. I've been with them almost for 6 years, so I have a lot of it. But Nicaragua, it's, you know, it was the best experience because they take us to a lot of activities, us directors and companions, you know. And I believe when they move to a different city where the director's not very, you know, they don't have a lot of knowledge about the city, it's kind of hard, and it kind of, you know, we're kind of like, okay, we wanted to go here, there, you know. But since I do have the experience about Nicaragua, that it was the best pageant tour part of the competition, because we were able to explore the volcanoes, we went swimming, we went on a lake, you know. And the preliminary competition was in front of the palace of the Capitol Palace. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was just so great. So I am very excited. Teen Universe is going to Nicaragua. I wanted to know Colombia, of course, but I think, you know, it's like Francisco's pageant. It's amazing because he's at his house, you know, and his backyard is full of toys for the girls. So it's amazing that you know they have that ability. Now in the US, it's hard for me. Like you, I believe your girl's away from you a couple of hours or more than a couple of hours.
Yes.
So a lot of small countries don't realize how we, US and Canada maybe, we live far from our girls. You know, my US girl lives in Georgia, which we're 24 hours away from each other if we drive, you know. So little small countries have it so easy and quick because
Easy. Yeah.
1 hour and they're there to see the girl and train her. And we can't do that. We have to make sure we set an appointment, we set a time, we set flights, we set hotels, we set up the calendar in order for our girls to, you know, to be able to train for our international pageants. So one of the main reasons why we select the best candidate in our pageant, because she needs to be ready and she needs to be knowledgeable and she needs to be ready to take action as she takes over the crown.
Yeah, Teen America is all about speaking as well. They have a speaking competition.
Oh,
So
okay.
they have speech. Yeah, so I saw about them. I saw that you were promoting Miss Teen Charm. I just got invited to take the license for Canada for Miss Teen Charm. So, and that's based in Venezuela. I'm like nervous, but what do you think?
I am going to take the chance just because it looks like it's going to have a good production. I've kind of studied it. I was a little nervous. I don't like to have a lot of pageants, Mia. I'm going to tell you that. It's just weird that there's a lot of directors that we meet and they have like 7, 8, 10 pageants that they send girls. And I'm overwhelmed with one, you know, so I'm like, oh, I don't know. But the more opportunities sometimes you give your contestants and your company or your production organization,
Yes.
It helps the girls. So I am going to select a girl, I believe, and we're going to send her. God willing, again, everything's back to normal. Everything's kind of controlled. First time in Venezuela as well. But it looks like everything looks clean. Everything looks like a good pageant. So
I'm excited about it too.
I hope you take it. Hopefully you do. I'm going to talk to this young man. Is he the one that contacted you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell him you're a great director.
Oh, thank you.
Have a lot of water for me, please.
A lot of water, not Coca-Cola. You know how I love Coca-Cola.
Well, the Coca-Cola in South America has a different taste than us here in the U.S.
It's so addicting, eh? Every time when we get to Central America or South America and I drink that Coca-Cola, it's like no tomorrow.
Yes, yep. I 100% back you up on that because I've drank so many Coke this past time in Panama that I was like, what is going on with me?
Yeah, because in El Salvador, you were not like that. But when you were in Panama, you were drinking Coke like a faucet.
It was crazy. But, well, I'm excited. I'm excited
too.
Every time I see you, me and Mia have a great time. Even though sometimes I get a little tired and sometimes I don't want to do anything. It just, people don't know the back work when we go into internationals. A lot of people think that, oh yes, we're just on vacation time, but
No,
no.
it's not vacation.
I mean, we try to escape sometimes, right, Mia?
Yeah.
But it's
Our
or
escape time is at night when we go to Wendy's or McDonald's, like, just to have that regular food that, we North Americans always are used to, right? So we love the the Latin food, but especially your Mexican. But I mean, North American food, you have to have it, especially when you need that energy, and you get that from McDonald's and Wendy's. So thank
yeah.
you so much, Juan. I know you're busy, and more power to you. And I really appreciate your friendship. And every time I see you, it's like I have a new brother, you
Oh,
know.
thank you so much.
So and it was fun, especially when we go out. I remember when we in Panama, we had so much fun.
We
And
we had more fun in El Salvador.
huh?
I think we had more fun in El Salvador.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
In El Salvador, we had fun. But
Panama
there,
here, but it was a good time too. I didn't go as out as much, but we just had so many things going on through
yeah,
that week.
we basically end up having a nighttime the night before the finals, I believe.
Yeah.
That's why the following day we were both like tired, and then not everybody's in a talking mood, so it was like, oh, whatever. But thank you again and again. I'm sure that the American fans are actually wanting to see what to expect at the Teen Universe USA and Teen Mundial USA pageant. So as the director of the United States, what can you tell your fans in the States?
Well, first of all, I would tell everybody to stay safe. Make sure that you guys are taking your precautions that you need to within your state measurements, because we all have different rules and regulations. Uh, Second, we are working hard with every state to make sure that our contestants are safe before they travel to nationals. So, for instance, or for any updates on this, horrible pandemic. I'm sorry, I don't
Pandemic.
pandemic. I'm going over here. Um, we are going to take the most precautions at nationals as well. So we are, maybe instead of dining out every night or for lunch, we're going to make sure that, the girls are staying within the hotel. If any of the situations or status change, we will, are you still there? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Uh, we will be, updating everybody, every family member, directors, friends and family within months of before going to nationals. As of now, we are still going for August, the second week. But if anything changes, of course, we will update everybody nationally wise, and it goes first with our state directors that they're working hard around the U.S. and our staff, my staff that help, travels with me to Orlando or to every site that we have every year. I'm blessed to have them because they work with me. They actually work hand by hand with me, and they make sure the girls are great. And we do have a great, production. And of course, our judges and our current queens, that they're expecting to turn their crown. And if this, crazy virus and stuff, then, things might change. So I
I
would
have
tell.
a good friend. If you're gonna do it in Orlando, right? I have a good friend. Her name is Fiore Santiago Deloni, and she's also the one involved for the Miss Globe. But she's based there, and she's also involved with the New York Couture Fashion Week. So I will recommend her to you because she is such a great help when it comes to
Perfect. Yeah, of
doing
course.
pageants.
Judge.
Yeah.
You mean
And I'm telling all the American people, please don't be pressured by 45. Don't get divided with this craziness, because America is a land of opportunity. It's a land of immigrants. So there's no need to segregate people based on their color or their culture or religion. There's no need for that. And honestly, one, being a Mexican American, I could say that use your influence to make a difference and make sure that 45 does not get reelected this November.
We're going to try to make sure every American vote. You know, they need to all
Yes.
vote, and hopefully everybody does their part. You know, one of the things I do tell all my pageant girls, if this question's asked for you, you stay neutral. Don't say you like him or you don't like him, because that could be, you know,
Well, it's not just pageantry; it's the real
uh,
world.
but yes, I believe, you know, I don't want to get any haters against me or for me, but I
You
do
shouldn't
recommend
care.
Americans, we need a vote. We need to make sure we take our you know, word out, and we get counted in this next election. So we want the best for our country, the best for USA, and God willing, we will have a better future, a better upcoming you know, prosperity for everybody in the US, because I know there's a lot of people scared out there because of this whole thing going on. So I just want everybody to be safe, and you know, just stay calm. I think staying calm and staying, you know, just, you know, the best thing that we can do right now, because we don't want to make a chaos and make it worse. So go
Well,
vote, go vote.
go vote because that's important. It's your right. It's your right. And if you don't vote, then the person that you might not want to win will win. And that is basically you giving up your right. So I know that you can't speak out like that much, but as I mentioned, for me, God gave me a voice, and I just, you know why? Because we're feeling the pain from you guys. I know that America is in so much pain because of 45 and what he's creating, and everybody, all Americans, don't deserve that because that was not how it was from previous administration. And now is the time that people should not be divided. And I actually wanted to ask you one last question because you know how I like to put you in a spot. So what do you think about Biden's conspiracy right now? Do you think that that girl was paid by the 45 administration to destroy him?
There's so many, you know, theories about 45 and you know, former Vice President Biden. um I don't know, there you just can't trust the media or the president now, you know. So i I don't know, it's a tough question. If I was in the spot and I was competing in a pageant, I would probably lose the crown if I was asked this, because you know, it just, you just don't know anymore. You just want to make sure that, you know, you want to be in the right lane, and you want to follow, you know, the rules and the government. And but nowadays you're just confused with everything's going on. You don't know if it's true, if it's false, if this is meant to be because someone said this, or because, you know, even whenever, you know, 45 was he was in election time, he had so many stuff that came up, and they didn't care, you know, and he's our president now. So I mean, I don't know.
Did you
I
ever think that the economy improved because of 45? Tell me now.
I do believe the economy has improved. It was very high just because 45 is a businessman. He knows what he's doing business wise,
Mm-hmm.
and so the economy, to where I live, we have a lot of petroleum, we have a lot of stuff like that. So economy wise, yes, 45 has helped in that way, but it just, there's so many stuff that he says without thinking that affects us in general, and not just only Mexicans now, you know. Now with the virus, Chinese people, Asian people, you know.
Yeah,
So
about that Chinese virus, like that he said, right? Isn't
yeah,
that so appropriate from a president?
but, you know, so I just feel that we should all take into consideration and learn facts, not listen to
Mm-hmm.
facts and just, you know, go with what they say. I think you need to do your research, do the best, you know, you can do to learn about the candidate that you want to be elected. Now there's a lot of people who listen to a lot of people, and they just know what a lot of people have said, so they don't know exactly what the real
Yes.
behind it is. So I do recommend do your
Typical redneck mentality. That's what it is. That's what it is. And those people, the rednecks from United States of America, did they ever get the advantage of voting for 45? Because right now they are suffering like the rest of the minorities. Sorry, I should be a political panelist because it's like I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah, I don't think I could be a, a political candidate now because I'll probably get all emotional and stuff. But yes, it's hard. I think we are going through a crisis here in the U.S., not just virus wise, but I think political wise as well. But hopefully in November things change for the
Mhm.
good for the American people.
And I hope
And
Uncle Bernie becomes an independent candidate because he's needed there. That's all I can say. Uncle Bernie, please come back.
oh, the ankle burning. But Mia, it's almost time for me to leave.
Thank you so
I
much.
love talking to you, but
Have a
you know,
good weekend
different
and
time.
enjoy the weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Love you so much. Take
Love you.
care. Thank you all the
Mm.
Canadian people for listening to us, and make sure you take care of Mia. Hopefully we can do a live with longer time for us.
Yes.
And let me know. Greetings from Texas, USA. Love you, everybody. See ya soon.
See you soon. I'll be coming there soon when we're able to come. Better give me a Stetson.
You're welcome and you're invited.
Thank you.
Love you, Mia.
Bye.
Bye
Love
bye.
you. Bye.